Hello, my name is Max Yingst, and for my TED Talk, I'm going to be talking about how to set up a saltwater fish tank. As someone who works in an aquarium store, Fish Frenzy, I'd say I'm pretty educated in this manner. I go around 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, cleaning people's fish tanks, servicing them, working in the shop, talking to people, giving them suggestions about what tank they should get, how to set up a tank, or what they should put in the tank. So having a saltwater tank, super rewarding. They help lower stress, anxiety, blood pressure, and even help people sleep at night. Having a fish tank just in general is super fun because you're really recreating an ecosystem at home or in your office. Just super fun, super rewarding hobby to have. So let's get right into it. Owning a fish tank, I always say, especially in saltwater, the bigger you go, the easier and better it's going to be. Just because in smaller tanks, a little bit wrong with your water chemistry can kill everything. Rather in a big tank, you're going to be a little bit better off. You're going to be able to catch it a lot sooner and fix the problem before it becomes a problem. Saltwater tanks, you're going to need better filtration. So if you have the option to, get a sump, put a protein skimmer in it, which uses air bubbles to create a magnetic polarity with proteins to pull those proteins out before they break down and become harmful for the tank, and puts it in a collection cup that you can later empty out, which is a really cool little piece of machinery that helps keep your water super clean. So I always say try and get one of those. Try and get an all-in-one system that has one. It's going to be super. It's going to be super beneficial in the long run. So when you set up a saltwater tank, you want to decide if you want a reef tank with pretty coral and anemones and clownfish and stuff like that, or if you want an aggressive tank with like stingrays and sharks and pufferfish. You can't really mix the two, not only because the aggressive fish might eat your non-aggressive fish, but most aggressive fish are actually going to eat coral too. So you're going to be spending all this money just for it all to die and be eaten. So my favorite is reef tanks. They just always look so pretty with the motion, and it's just so much more rewarding. So when you finally have your tank set up, you're going to have to figure out how many gallons your tank is and get a pound per gallon of live rock, which is going to help further filter your water, because that's where you're going to encourage good bacteria and algae to grow, which filters the water and eats the bad bacteria. So always remember a pound a gallon. Sometimes, especially when you set up a tank, you can get a big algae bloom. So that's when you can get like a cleanup crew, which is hermit crabs or snails such as Trochus snails, Nassarius or Astrea, which is going to be able to eat that algae, keep it kind of at a manageable level, where you can just go in with a sponge real quick and just wipe it down and still be able to see in your fish tank. So once you have all that in, make sure you do 20% water change in salt water every 2 to 3 weeks to keep that water super clean, help replace calcium or pH that might have been sucked out by your coral and fish, to keep everything healthy so you don't have stuff dying. So you're also going to want to check your parameters with little test kits. You're going to want to test your pH. That's super important. You want that to be at 8.4, or else you're going to have some issues. So some parameters you're going to want to keep in mind: nitrate, you want at 0 to 40 parts per million. Nitrite, you're going to want at 0. Phosphate, you're going to want at 0. Ammonia, you're going to want at 0. pH 8.4. Calcium, you're going to want between 400 and 500 parts per million. And that's pretty much it. You just want to be able to test those. And when you have an issue, you're going to want to do a water change or add chemical to really fix those issues. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.